I didn't give any news in about a week, so I'm just gonna wrap it up now that I can without waiting for the perfect circumstances or anything. Here we go. So, day 5 of my 100 days of making comics. Today I pretty much only spend about the half an hour I'm supposed to, mostly trying to find better lines to my drawings that I already did in Illustrator. Part of this is I did a lot of research and I saw a lot of people who actually are making comics in Illustrator, so that was maybe a motivation today to just explore and see what I could do. This is Chinese hand sign for number 6. Day 6 of my 100 days of making comics. I was thinking last night when I couldn't sleep about the fact that eventually the KUBRONAUT will be kind of recruited to brand all of the corporations going to space with some kind of pop culture reference. And I was thinking if he becomes kind of executive, it could be cool to try him in a suit. So that's what I tried. I've been looking at what bartenders look like and all that, not only for the KUBRONAUT changing his costume as I mentioned in my very early videos, but also looking because I need to come up with a cast of bartender wannabes for one of the strips. So I was looking into this and I tried to convert the costume, the look, into various types of bartenders and also different kinds of suits. I think the suit looked pretty cool. I'd be interested to know which one looks better. Well, maybe he'll change outfit sometimes, or maybe eventually I'll choose on one of those outfits as the permanent implement, but and maybe just start with the 2001 Odyssey look, and eventually, I mean, maybe adopt the suit or whatever along the way. Yeah, so maybe I'll have to make a decision at some point, or maybe he can change every once in a while. We'll see. On day 7, I didn't have that much, how can I say, dedicated time. So what I did on top of writing some script, I started a little bit of writing the script, but I also started designing some of the environment. There's not many locations in my first part, my prelude, but there is an important part in the main corporation developing the space station for business. Basically all of it more or less happens inside of that of those corporate headquarters. So I've been drawing the kind of entrance and maybe and also the waiting room for it. There's also a washroom. Will be very much inspired from the Shining, Stanley Kubrick's The Shining bathroom scene. So it'll be a close, a close reference to that. But I will draw that one hopefully later this week. Actually, as I'm making this video, I know I did. Spoiler alert. Day 8 of my 100 days of making comics. Today I mostly did some thumbnails. I continue developing the story. I'm up to 20 something thumbnails, and I've started to script it as well. But as I script, I even extend some of the story over 2 pages instead of just 1, because I'm going with a formula of 4 panels, I wanted to try with a widescreen cinema kind of look. Kind of works with the whole Stanley Kubrick theme to it. kind of tried to do the first comic strip in the future, although I know it's happening already because I'm retroactively doing these videos, obviously. Even if this format is actually good or terrible for a webcomic, maybe let me know. But it's about a normal comic book page style anyway. So today, mostly this. I did a lot of web, but I'll talk about it for my day 9 because it kept spilling over day 9, 10. Day 9 of my 100 days of making comics. Mostly today is banging my head against the website, which I started yesterday. I did some today, and since I'm speaking retroactively, I know that tomorrow I'm also going to spend hours trying to make a website that makes sense. I tried using Press first, and the banner was kind of all screwed up with I don't know, it scaled it and the resolution didn't look great. Tried Inkblot. For some reason Inkblot didn't show the comics. So I tried the other one, blue and red or something. I don't know, one from a real comics. This one is kind of, the look is not that great. I don't know, didn't like it because the banner is very small and I cannot control much. So I went back to Inkblot trying to fix it and nothing was showing. Then I went back to Wordpress trying to add buttons that would be like the Inkblot, and the buttons didn't show in the right parts. I mean in different parts, but I couldn't get it exactly under the comics centered and all that. And even sometimes some of the buttons didn't show. Been very, very frustrating. I guess the diagnosis is that I am internetly challenged or something. And I will decide tomorrow, I guess, in retrospect, that I spent enough time, like at least north of 6 hours over the past 3 or 4 days trying to figure this out, looking at tutorials, playing with the programming and all that stuff. So I'm kind of tired, kind of over it, and kind of, not that I'm giving up, but I feel like currently my objective to start the comic in January is a bit in peril, so I might as well just pay somebody so I can focus on the actual content. So that was my decision that I will reach tomorrow on day 10, but basically on day 9 I mostly hit my head against the internet wall, and I did a little bit of scripting also just to get my mind off of it. Well, day 10 of my 100 days of making comics, and as you know already, because I mentioned it on day 9, that I spent a huge amount of time again today on trying to make a proper website, and didn't work too well. So in light of this, I decided to change my mood a little bit. What I worked on is designing the buttons under the comics, first comics, precedent comics, next, and last, with in the middle probably a comment link. So what I wanted to do was something around, the kind of satellite, ISS, the space station kind of look, with the solar panel being the next forward and all that stuff. So here are the designs. Now I have to find somebody who can insert that into my WordPress theme and also change it to my taste, because I made the decision to do that. But that's pretty much what I did today, which was not as productive as I would like actually. So you'll have to do, even though I guess I'm bending my own little rules here. But that's what happened on day 10. I decided to surrender to the all-powerful internet gods, to somebody else who actually knows programming.